Are we recording?
Yes.
I hope so.
Yep.
Wait, this isn't recording.
This is recording.
It's not in Audacity.
No. This is iMovie.
Why the hell aren't we recording in Audacity?
Because Audacity is an audio player.
This is a podcast!
Yes. And I can extract the audio from this.
At what quality? Didn't think that through, did you?
Alert. Alert. Self-destruction imminent. Please proceed to the escape pod. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Should I be looking at you when I'm talking to you, or just looking at you on the video when I'm talking to you, so it looks like we're looking at the camera?
I don't know. This is a test.
Man.
Let us know, people. We need to know. Should we look at each other or should we look at the camera?
It's gonna be all this, just the side of our faces.
Anyway, welcome back to the BTS Escape Pod, or just the Escape Pod, as people would say, because we dropped the BTS, except for the .com, because it's essential, because everything Escape Pod has been
I thought
taken.
you didn't get the BTS for the .com. You did the .net.
No.
No?
No.
You son of a bitch.
No one wants .net.
It's better than .me or whatever the fuck you're like. It's available in .me. I'm like, what the hell is that? .me. Like, that's gonna be on the page 400 of Google when you fucking.
So btsescapepod.com. Since we already have called it BTS Escape Pod, the Facebook is BTS Escape Pod. It's an essential evil, necessary evil.
Is the Facebook BTS Escape Pod?
Yep, facebook.com/BTS Escape Pod. It sucks. Believe me, I know.
Anyways, welcome to the podcast. Saturday, June 15th, episode
88.
88, getting up there.
Yep, and this is our first ever video podcast, not including the trailer that we mixed. But now we have a fancy green screen background. Don't touch it.
Touched it. I'm Cuba. That's
Trey.
Aaron.
Refer to me as Tree for this fucking podcast.
I don't want to, because I don't like that. And Roy's not here.
Roy, it's Saturday, so he's away. But I will be seeing him for Superman. We are going to see This Is the End, and double featuring it with Superman. So we will have a review next week of Superman. He's not going, because he doesn't like to see people out in public.
I was listening to the Spills review of both of those movies, actually, and Superman sounds like it's going to be exactly what I thought. And
Angsty and then Alien Invasion movie?
Yeah, I got it pretty much is like the first half is cool, and then the last 40 minutes of destruction is By the third act, it's just
Oh.
And so, I mean, that's what I was expecting, because I don't. I guess, Christopher Nolan's fingerprints are definitely all over the movie. I don't know how you can have. They need to have a Superman movie with the Superman music. They really should have saved that theme. It doesn't have to be connected to it. It's just that is Superman's theme. That's his theme. It's like the one from the animated series was pretty good, but still no John Williams. I know he's angsty and shit, but you gotta have Superman as like it's hopefully triumphant.
I think Bryan Singer fucked it up for everyone. That's what I think happened. He fucked it up for everyone where he made that fucking terrible ass boring Superman movie, and they're like, no, don't even throw in the music for that Superman for this one because
no. It didn't meet expectations. Superman 4 is what fucked up Superman for a long time.
No, I mean that fucked it up for like generations where they wouldn't touch Superman anymore. I'm saying, like, since Bryan Singer's version of Superman, he played the music, you had the intro to pay homage to it, but it was so terrible that they just, like, scrap everything, scrap the music. It was the music's fault. That's totally why that fucking movie bombed.
No, definitely not. That movie wasn't bad. It was pretty damn slow, and I hated the dude who played Superman. Never looked like Superman to me. He was too little.
Yeah, he was a little tiny shrimp.
And then like I think he was bigger in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, he was like, I'm a vegan.
Yeah, he was like bigger and more Superman jacked in Scott Pilgrim, but in Superman he was tiny and like I don't know, he was just super stalker. Wasn't a fan. We'll see. I know Superman Pat's he's already probably come 2 or 3 times before the movie's already even started. Probably since last night. Superman!
He probably woke up this morning and was like, oh geez, Superman's out. Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this is the end. Looks pretty funny, but
Everything I heard says it's fucking hilarious. So
Yeah.
it should be good. I can't wait for that one. It's one of my most anticipated comedies so far. But so what else we haven't talked about? We had the Lunchcast, which covered all of Xbox. Hope you like that. With the bombshell from Waterman, which you definitely have to check that out because it probably might sway you in your PlayStation 4 decision. Thanks, Waterman.
They ain't swaying anybody yet because people are still. I guess PS4 broke the record for most pre-sales in the first 24 hours.
Really?
Oh yeah. You know who got screwed? Anyone who bought the new iPad.
iPad 3?
No, the new iPad, because they never called it the iPad 3. They called it the new iPad. And then, like, 4 months later, replaced it with the iPad with the Retina display. And completely wiped the new iPad off the face of the earth. Like, they never did it. Because I was looking at the new stuff that Mac announced at the keynote last week. And the new iOS 7 operating system for all the mobile devices. It shows you what it's compatible with. It's compatible with iPad 2, iPad with Retina display. You know,
Really?
amongst the other, iPhone, I think 4, 4S, 5, and then the two last generations of iPod. Doesn't mention the new iPad.
So you might be able to get it like on Craigslist for $30 or something.
But it's an Apple product. You're not going to get it for $30.
That's not true because you can get laptops for like $600 if they've been out for a year.
Yeah, full of crack. If it's off Craigslist.
Yeah, picky. Jesus Christ. I mean, so you get a laptop and a good time. Shut your fucking face. One thing we didn't talk about was the new Apple announcements, the iOS and the Maverick, which, like you said, is the first iOS system that doesn't end with a big cat name.
Yeah, it's not leopard, mountain lion, snow cat, bobcat, Heathcliff.
Oh, they had
Garfield.
Sabretooth. Why didn't they go with that? Fucking, that would have been cool.
Oh, they've been doing big cats for like 10 years, 12 years. I think it's time to move on.
Well, Maverick, what would the next iteration be of like this iOS platform?
Stinger, if they're named after missiles. I don't know.
Is it Goose?
I like that.
Remember how like Sega used to have Sega, and you have Sonic run across?
Yeah.
It'd be like that. It would plane, only smash into it, and then someone go, Goose! So what are these features? I didn't watch the keynote, so you have to fill me in.
I'm not entirely sure of all the features of Maverick. The iOS 7, though, is their biggest news because it's really the first major overhaul of their mobile operating system. And I hate it. It looks terrible. It doesn't look like Apple whatsoever. They completely visually redesigned it. It looks like a Windows phone type thing. Just, I don't know, maybe not even Windows, because Windows is pretty cluttered with those stupid windows. It just, I don't know, it looks very plain, very white, and it looks like a clean room, like a sterile room. Like, I know Apple's into, like, the clean... Yeah, I know, but it's, like, too, no personality, really, to it. Like, look it up, or get your spank pad, and
I don't have to, like, hold it like this. It holds it for me, and I do it.
Yeah, you do it without holding it. It's the spank pad.
That is a feature, okay?
You hear that, Apple? New feature.
It said it on the Amazon review.
Makes it easier to masturbate with. 5 stars. No, 4.5. Doesn't clean up.
I'm the guy who didn't go to Apple.com. I Googled Apple and went to Apple.com that way.
How I don't know.
Huh.
Plain and white everything is. It really does look like some sort of, like, you got to keep the room clean of germs type thing. And Apple's always been into that kind of clean industrial look, but it's like, I feel like they got rid of the industrial and just went with all white backgrounds.
Yeah, this looks...
Like, look at the weather thing.
Jesus Christ, you gotta squint for that shit. White on light blue is not a good design choice, Apple. See, like this one with the dark blue and the white, that one's better.
Yeah, no. Now you're just getting nitpicky into the specific windows. I'm talking about overall look. I don't like how it looks. Supposedly, it's in photos, the new feature is that it makes everything easier if you want to switch it from panoramic to regular to video. And now they have new function called square, which apparently if you want to take a square picture, they'll take a square picture. I don't know why you just can't crop it in an iPhoto, but
People need their simple ways of doing things, I guess.
People are lazy. That's why.
Facebook,
Fucking lazy.
Facebook profiles all around. Yeah.
Maverick, it doesn't look like they visually changed too much. Like I said, it's just a lot of new little knickknacks and features and whatnot. Nothing outstanding for the new operating system. I'm excited because I still have Lion. I'm like 4 behind. I'm so behind that I can't even upgrade to the next upgrade.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy a new machine in a couple of months. Here's the new Mac Pro, which looks like a toilet paper dispenser.
Wait, what? Look at that. Pretty. Glare.
Reflection. It actually looks like some sort of sex sock.
It does. It looks like a fucking virtual goddamn fleshlight. If that was made out of rubber. Whoa! It just undressed itself.
Here it goes.
It shows
it's showing leg.
Not safe for work. Did you want to get into the government spying on everyone? The NSA knows everything about everything.
Not really, but sure. Let's do it. Hey, real news. So in the news,
if you have been under a rock, there's been, memes even going around of like, oh, now my mom's on Prism. And what this Prism is the NSA program that's spying on everyone at all times, be it phone, internet. From what I've heard on the conspiracy side of things, when a agent or whatever wants to learn about someone specifically, they can go into their little computer program and pull up a 3D model of your life.
I like that chick at the bar. I'm just picturing that shit that Iron Man has in his home office.
That's basically like
it's like I don't like this part in the trash.
Not making a woman. I mean, we could probably do that at one point.
Weird science. They're rebooting that, It better be more accurate though, because if you make a hot chick who's completely subservient to you,
naked all the time.
Well, they didn't even bang her.
Who's the director of that movie? The one who did like 16 Candles and shit.
I don't know if it's the same dude.
Yeah, I think it was.
Was it?
Yeah, that's why it was all PG bullshit.
Yeah.
Boobs.
We're sidetracking anyways.
Yeah, anyway, NSA program. But Prism, yeah, it's recording everyone. And guess what? No one gave a shit, which is ridiculous.
I still don't give a shit. I don't know why you're making a big deal about it, because they've been doing it forever. And ever since J. Edgar Hoover came into power, the government has been spying on us.
No, it's no longer conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theorists have been saying this for years, obviously, and it's just in the back of your mind, don't say that on the phone, the government could be listening, that type of shit. But now it's in your face and real because a whistleblower, Mr. Snowden, who...
You know nothing, Mr. Snowden.
Actually, he knows fucking everything.
That's true. Most educated people already knew, maybe not to the extent, but most of us kind of already be like, government knows everything. They're always watching us. Big Brother. It's just someone said, hey, no, you know what? It's actually true. And people are like, the uninformed people are like, oh, my God. Me.
I'm informed, and I was like, oh my God, like, it's finally in the forefront.
It's finally in the forefront, but you knew that it's like, you've known. You're a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. At least on the same type of conspiracies as you. If it's got aliens and Bigfoot, then I'm all about it. But yeah, just that for the most part, it's like we know that the government is not to be trusted. Then
why aren't you?
Because my life is not going to change with this news. It's something that I've always suspected, and it's like, oh, hey, it's true. Okay, I'm gonna go get my Dunkin' Donuts coffee now. And that's not gonna change whether they're spying on me or not. It does not change my daily activities. I'm not doing anything illegal, so it's not going to change what I'm doing. Like, the government gathers all this information. I don't think there's someone sitting there watching everything and learning everything about everyone. Because if that was true, these guys would have never, ever even gotten close to a chance to blowing up these bombs.
Fact of the matter
Russia said, hey, America, you guys need to watch this guy. And we're like, fuck you, Russia. J. Edgar Hoover, that cross-dressing bastard, is the one that we can probably thank for the government starting to gather everything on us. Hell, I wouldn't even be surprised if the president was unaware of the scale and scope of this whole spying on citizens thing. No, I guarantee you, because J. Edgar Hoover he set up the FBI to be this whole separate independent entity, and he's like, it's like, Mr. President, you're not need to know. And like the NSA and all that, that's all spun out of the FBI essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all little goblets, little driblets of that. It can all be traced back to that. So and the fucking Mr. Jon Snow there even said that that the spying on citizens thing is such a wide scope that it even spies on the president. And the president is unaware of what his own information is gathered about this.
There's a meme out where it has a girl calling a guy, and it's like, "Hi, honey," and the guy going, "Ooh, what are you wearing tonight?" And she's like, "Oh, you're funny." And then it shows Obama on the next slide going, "Yeah, tell us."
But I would definitely will say this is not completely his fault. Maybe he knew what was going on. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't know the scope of it. But he is going to be kind of in trouble next week because part of this whole thing of spying is they even spy on internet accounts from I guess citizens overseas and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like in other countries. So now Germany and other European Union countries are kind of angry of what type of information the U.S. government has about citizens that they gathered from overseas information, and he has to have a meeting with them next week to do some explaining.
Or do some bribing. But supposedly Snowden does have some more information available that he hasn't released yet, but he said there was more to come, which should be pretty interesting. What do you think? Do you think he's a traitor or a patriot?
Well, it's kind of funny. Your boy Ron Paul calls him a patriot.
Mm-hmm.
Says he did a great deed.
He also said something from the past, which was, in a fascist dictatorship, truth becomes illegal, or something along those lines.
Sure. And then his weird, not like him at all son, Rand Paul, says, let's see. And then every Republican senator is, he should be hung! I'll say he has balls. That's for damn sure.
Those are big cojones.
Now, working for top secret government agencies where it's like, it's okay to tell people about this if you think it's really bad. So again, it's a double question because technically, legally, he is a traitor. On paper, he's a traitor.
I don't know. I definitely think he should be pardoned for sure. That's my vote.
Tricky, treacherous, slippery slope.
Yep, I don't like it. But there is on 4th of July, Adam the Man. I don't know if you've ever watched that podcast on YouTube, because in light of this whole spying thing, a march, a protest on all capitals for all states on the 4th of July.
Not gonna happen.
I have been hearing a lot of people going to this thing. I'm going to this thing.
You're gonna waste your 4th of July.
And I'm going to do it in geek fashion. I'm going to dress up like Darth Vader, full-on Darth Vader costume, and with a sign that says, "Do not be so confident with this technological terror you've constructed." The other side of my sign is going to be Supreme Commander looking for job in the new empire.
Nothing that involves any sort of spying, but I don't know if you heard, on Mass Ave in the Back Bay, there was a auction for a double parking space in an alleyway. Bidding started at $42,000. Winning bid was over $560,000 for this one parking space. That is $200,000 more than the average house price in Massachusetts.
Take the train, for fuck's sake.
First world problems right there.
Oh, fuck. That should be under social disorder. Jesus Christ.
No, that's definitely first world problem. You're right. That's not even first world problems. That's 1% problems.
Yeah,
this is a whole other topic that I want to talk about since this is a geek podcast. We don't talk about it much.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, why don't we get into Game of Thrones?
Season 10 landed, the season finale, and
every original show on HBO, episode 9 is the payoff of the season, and then the next episode is always kind of like a slow thing. That's what they do for every original series. That's what they started with The Sopranos. The Sopranos started doing that, and now every show on HBO does the same thing. But even more so with Game of Thrones, because there's so many characters and shit, you need that 10th episode to take a breather, tie up a storyline, tie up an arc, or begin the next arc for the next season, the next trip for the character or something like that. That's what this episode was, which I still think is great. I think the slowest, most boring episode of Game of Thrones is still better than most anything else on television.
What did you think of the finale, overall? Oh, the season overall, we should say.
I thought the season was great. Went by way too fast.
It did. It seemed go by really fucking fast.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you don't have mid-season breaks for that shit.
Yeah, they only missed one week. I think the week before last, the week before the Red Wedding, they didn't.
Yep.
I forgot, it was Memorial Day.
Yep.
They skipped that for some reason. They're probably like, everyone's gonna be barbecuing. Spoiler for anybody who has not seen or read the books.
We have like text that comes up like spoilers.
But yeah, with these motion. The Red Wedding, I knew was coming up. Generally, people know. There's like a funny meme online of the picture of the author, and it says it's like, oh, you have a favorite character, and then underneath him it says, not anymore. Pretty. I like his approach that anybody can die, and it's true. I mean, this shows that like say that it's like, oh yeah, anybody can die. It's like, but no, he makes you love somebody, and then he fucking guts them. So if you didn't know what was coming up, the Red Wedding. Don't try to get help from the guy that you fucked over. Don't try to get help from the...
Especially when he looks like that.
Yeah. Dude, and my mind was blown because the next day someone told me that was the janitor from Harry Potter. And I was like, holy shit, it's the cat guy! And it totally makes sense. I can see when like the school year is over for Harry Potter, that guy goes home, and that's his house, that's his castle. He's got a bunch of fucking ugly kids. I'll marry my uncle to one of your daughters. You know, let bygones be bygones, and yo, we cool.
We cool.
Yeah, I mean, like he goes, he apologizes very humbly, and then the guy's like, "Let me see your wife. Come closer. You got great tits." That's pretty much what he says. He's like, "That's a tight ass." Like, I don't blame you. I would have done the same thing for that ass. I want to see your tits, my dear. I pay attention to the show, so I caught this, but Bree didn't catch this. I don't know how many other people caught this. But obviously, before they even do it, like the dude closes the door. And you know, some shit's going bad when some guy just goes and shuts the door, real like nonchalant, like, hey, nobody sees that, right? We've seen enough movies to know that's a mob hit right there. And the episode is named after it, but the Rains of Castamere start playing. The band starts playing that song, and if you recall, from Tyrion's wedding to Sansa, right before the wedding, they're talking about Castamere and the Rains of Castamere, and the Rains was a house that was completely wiped out by the Lannisters. For I guess they're a house that was under Lannister. You know, like yeah. Each house has their bannermen. That was one of the Lannister bannermen. I guess they were the second richest house besides the Lannisters, and they wanted to get out of Lannister rule, so there was like an uprising, and Tywin Lannister completely obliterated the family. He like erased them pretty much from existence. In the song, "The Rains of Castamere" were like it was made up, talking about the destruction of this house. So like when during the wedding, when the dude closes the door, the Rains of Castamere starts to play, and you can see Catelyn Stark just kind of like, why is that motherfucker shutting the door? Why are they playing that? Oh shit. This motherfucker's got chainmail on! Oh, that's why the episode's called that! And it was cool. It was definitely very cool. And but the worst is Rob's wife is pregnant. I don't know how many months pregnant or whatever, but she's pregnant. And then, like, they start shooting arrows. Everyone's getting fucking arrowed. This motherfucker just comes and just just fucking prison style, right in the gut.
Yeah, she's like,
oh, they're like, I feel like they actually killed her unborn child in real life, because that was the face that like a pregnant woman would make if she was stabbed in the stomach repeatedly. Just
you
like
know this from experience.
It wasn't even a look of in pain. It was just utter shocking disbelief, like. What the fuck? That's one of those like what the fucks where your mind is so overburdened with what's in fucks that
what's in fucks
that you can't. No, seriously, no other thought goes in, no thought comes out. What the fuck? And that's all it is. It just keeps stacking of what the fucks. It's a
fuck shit stack.
Yeah, no other cognitive thought can actually get in there, and that's the face that she makes. It wasn't like, oh my god, I'm stabbed, oh my god, what's going on? It was just like, oh, and like Catelyn Stark's like, when they kill Robb, like it's like Tywin Lannister sends his regards and he fucking cuts him. Catelyn's like, no. It's just that, that's such a, horrid, like, he just goes, no! And it's silent. Silent credits. It's just like...
Just to leave you there with your thoughts.
Holy shit. It's like, god damn. I guess, like, the one main reason the guys who, the showrunners wanted to do this show, wanted to, like, take these books and adapt them for television, was because of that scene. That was pretty much, they say, like, the biggest reason they wanted to do a Game of Thrones show is for that scene. So they, for the past 3 years, it's like they've been leading up to the, and I don't see them being able to pull it off any better. The really only other cool scene in that whole, like, there's a good episode, a good juxtaposition, or however you say that word.
Juxtaposition?
Yeah, sure. But the other really cool thing was Tywin and Joffrey. He's like, I am the king, I am the king. He's like, anyone who has to call themselves, constantly say, I am the king, is no true king. And he sends the king to bed. I love that. He's like, the king is tired. Send him to bed. He's like, give him a glass of milk or whatever. It's like nectar of something. It's like, but that interaction was just fucking great. Because, Tywin doesn't blow up. He just looks at him and he's like, send the king to bed.
We wrapping this up? We're recording for an hour now.
Nah.
This has been our podcast, the Escape Pod video podcast, episode 1.